One, it's CPO, and this is Heli Hangout number 34, and it's November 7th, 2014, and we are just going to be hanging out talking helis. It's going to be pretty thin tonight, I think, because most of my regular Hangout clowns decided they have better things to do. Some of them think it's sleep. Some of them have, I don't know, travel and work and whatever. You guys are all lame. But we do have Lee here and Casper. So that's enough. We have enough to even hang out. So we're going to go on, and I'm sure somebody else will probably pop in after a bit. So I don't usually start with myself, but I may as well tonight just for fun. Let's. I got a couple things going on. Number one, I have been toying with the idea of posting these Hangouts, just the audio only, as a podcast so that people can download the audio for using their favorite podcast app. So I've been asked if I would do this previously, and I wasn't sure because it takes a lot of extra, work. The reason I picked this venue for the Hangouts is because it's fairly automated. I mean, we do the Hangout, it automatically goes to YouTube, automatically shows up on my channel. I do a little bit to advertise or promote, put it on my website, whatever. But if I wanted to do podcasts, I'm going to have to rip down the audio feed. I'll probably put a bumper and a trailer on it. And then I have to find, a place to host it and a place to, and then I have to distribute it. So I haven't really done it, but I'm starting to think now that it might be a good idea, especially since we're still going strong after, a year and, almost a half here at 34 Hangouts. So I'm debating. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and at least do it. And then I'll probably gauge, how much download activity there is before I get too excited about determining how long I'm going to keep it up. But if it's worth it to people and it gets used, then I think I'll go ahead and keep throwing up the audio feed for people that either it's not convenient to watch the video or for whatever reason it just doesn't work that easily for them. But if I do it all and there's like 5 downloads every Hangout, honestly, I'll probably reevaluate. So I'll let you guys be the judges, the voters on whether or not it's worth doing by just using it. So I'll share that information later once I get things put up. But once I put it on like iTunes or wherever you would get podcasts. If you want it, please go download, start subscribing, and then I'll know based on that it's worth doing. So anyway, that's something I just thought about doing today, actually. So what else do I have going on?
And me personally, I like that because I tend to listen to my iPod when I go to bed, and so to have it and to listen to it as a podcast would be better for me rather than having my laptop lying at the side of the bed with my headphones in. I'm bound to fall asleep and then pull my laptop off the side of the bed or something.
Yeah.
So for me, a podcast works out quite well.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's a lot that we talk about that requires the video. I mean, there's going to be some show and tell stuff. Obviously, we're probably going to show and tell tonight, or we'll, watch videos together, which I don't even think that shows up in the feed anyway, but... or throw up screenshots or things like that. But people can always go back and look at the video whenever if you decide you're missing something. But I kind of agree. I listen to a lot of video podcasts as audio only just because it's more convenient. So cool. Well, thanks for that feedback.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have... had I made the 700 last Hangout?
Can't remember.
I don't remember.
May have been a hover only. I don't know. You might have gone out to the front yard and quickly did a hover.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't even been to the flying field yet, but I have done a little bit more in my front yard, including mounting a GoPro to my boom. You might have seen that if you're on Facebook. It was actually... thinking about getting some footage, like you've got, Lee. So I don't know. I haven't played with it too much. I've got more I want to do than I have time to do it. So the 700 has been made. It is flying really nice. I did the elevator and the roll trim. I'm going to do a video on trimming and explain why people should trim their helicopters even if they fly in AVCS or heading hold mode. I think a lot of people have come to believe that you don't need to worry about fine-tuning your trim unless you're flying in rate mode. But I'm going to explain, why you should and all that, and also show how and what that looks like. But I need to still trim the tail mechanically to get it perfect in rate mode. But I just haven't had time. And I kicked off this airplane build. Which I know this isn't a plank hangout, but I'm building an Apollo 50, which is kind of like a pattern or precision airplane. My first one of those. It's actually getting all of the guts out of my crashed and sad and broken Tucano. All of those electronics are going into this Apollo 50, but it's been a challenge. It's a different type of plane than I've ever built before. And it seems like every build there's always something new I get to learn. So this one I'm doing like cable pull systems for the rudder and just all kinds of strange stuff that I've never had to deal with before. So it's been a lot of fun, but it has taken up a lot of my time. We went to Colorado over last weekend, so I didn't get anything done then. I think that's about it that's going on. I do have some surprises coming in the mail, which maybe we'll talk about later today. But and one of them is heli related, one's multi-rotor related. But that's it. That's pretty much what I've been up to. And so, Lee, why don't you tell us what you've been doing?
Well, I was going to ask you first, how are you actually attached your GoPro to the boom of the helicopter?
Oh, I used a what is it? The bicycle handlebar mount.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's what I used on my 500 a few years ago.
Yeah, it worked perfect. I mean, it's it fits the boom just perfect. My only real concern was whether or not I was gonna be too high up, and I was a little bit leery of like a blade strike. I was like, I don't know how much those flex in flight, and hovering I wasn't worried about, but I thought if I start doing even my mild version of 3D, which is some flips and loops and rolls and things like that, I was wondering if I would have enough flex that it might come down and just tap the top of that camera, and of course that would cause the entire system to eat itself. But I think I have plenty of room. I mean, I've got maybe, 3 inches or so, I think, of clearance between the top of the GoPro and the blades. And I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure it's about like 3 inches. And I have it pushed far enough forward that I think at the angle from the head, the blade would actually hit the boom before it hits the GoPro. So I don't think there's a problem. But I wanted the shot I've got is of the head, so you can see all the way up to the head button and just a few inches on either side of the blade. So it looks really cool. You can see everything kind of rotating and the swash working and all that stuff, which is really what I was kind of curious to see how that all looked during flight. But I'm also thinking about poking it out the side or maybe pointing it backwards, Lee, like I know you've done before. So.
Yeah, I had it on the boom as well on my old 600, and I had it on my 500 as well. And I wouldn't put the camera more than halfway out along the length of the blade, so that I was pretty sure that there was no way it was going to bend that much to hit the camera. So, but I didn't do anything severe acrobatics-wise, just in case.
Yeah, it is a little bit scary, right? I mean, even if you feel comfortable that you're doing the math and you're like, there's no way this thing's going to hit, and you're like, it's not worth chancing it. That's the problem.
Yeah. When I put it on the Goblin, I don't know. Did you see the pictures that I did where I stuck it to the side of the frame, the GoPro mount, and there's sort of an extension sticking out, so it's like a side-mounted camera. And
You know, I don't know if I saw the pictures of the actual camera as much as I did the shot you got.
I saw the videos. Okay, yeah. I was really nervous with that. I was really expecting the GoPro to drop off inverted and just go straight into the blades and obliterate my new Goblin and the camera, which would have been
nice.
A bit of a disaster. But it luckily worked out. That footage I was really pleased with that footage. It was pretty much vibration free with nothing more than just the GoPro mounting itself. So.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing on mine. I didn't have any issue. Matter of fact, I posted a screenshot on Facebook from the view, and everything is nice. I mean, you can obviously tell that the rotor head's in motion because I'm up in elevation quite a ways, but the main shaft and the swash and everything is just nice and crisp for the picture. So
yeah, that's cool. It's a really good view.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. I like taking pictures and videos.
Yeah, turn it to face backwards.
Normally see. Go ahead.
You turn it around the other way and face it towards the tail and see how the tail's working. That's really cool as well.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Actually, I was thinking when I do my trim video on trimming the tail, I think I'm going to use the GoPro to show that whole tail assembly in flight. If I'm going to see if it's interesting. It may be lame to look at, but you know, the sad thing is the better trimmed it is, the more boring it is to look at. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so what have I been up to? Well, it's officially winter here now. I just looked out the window and it was raining, and I had to put a hoodie on. Look.
Now wait a second. What is winter to you? What is the temperature in? Yeah, I'll convert it. You tell me whatever Celsius you're probably going to tell me, huh?
It was today. Hang on, I've got it here. 15, about 60 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So yeah, 15 degrees C, 60 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's not too far from the weather we've been having. 60s and yeah, I think we're 60s and maybe bumping 70s Fahrenheit every so often this time of year, but 60s and 50s probably. So, but how much colder is it going to get there? Is it fairly temperate, or is it going to get much colder than that?
No, it doesn't really get much. I mean, you might get the odd day in the winter where it gets down to maybe 10 degrees C. I don't know what that is, 50 or something. I don't know. Let's have a look. 10 is yeah, exactly 50. Yeah. It doesn't really get that much colder here. But now the rain started, so that's generally what we get in winter, is just sort of damp. But it can be good as well. We get weeks where it's good. But you just don't know. It's more random in the winter, whereas the summer's pretty steady. So there's going to be a lot of indoor building and finding places to fly out of the rain. Underground car parks where the supermarkets are in town. They're quite cool. I might do a bit of mini quad flying around the underground car park. But yeah, so what else have I been doing? Oh, well, I've been building mini quads. I've got hooked into these things. This is one. This is from My RC Mart. It's called. Their brand is RCX, as the top piece that you see.
Oh yeah.
And they are a blast. They are fantastic fun. I've ordered another 2 yesterday. Which is one's for me, and one's for a friend of mine who after showing him the mine, he said, order me one and build it for me. So he's from the UK. He's coming down here for Christmas, and he's going to pick it up. So yeah, I've got 2 more to build. So I've been
this FPV and all.
The one I'm building for him, it won't have FPV to start with. he just wants to get used to flying it around because he's just learning to fly helicopters, and this will be his first multi-rotor, so he just wants to have it set up for easy flying, line of sight, and once he gets used to it, he's going to put some FPV gear on. But this one I've been flying about sort of 5 to 10 flights now, but I've dismantled it because I did have quite a huge crash. I was sort of doing flips and rolls and getting used to the flight characteristics of it, and I ended up going full speed vertical dive straight into the ground. My GoPro camera ended about sort of 20 feet away, but I went over to check it, expecting to just see carnage, and 2 props broken. That was it. I couldn't believe it. This thing was absolutely full speed into the ground, and yeah, I thought I would have snapped an arm or something like that. But the only reason I've dismantled it is because I'm changing the wiring on it. I'm just moving the wires around. But yeah, the frame itself is perfect. I'm really, really pleased with the quality of this frame. The carbon on it is really good quality. The cutting from the CNC machine is clean, and this frame costs $16.
Wow. How thick are the arms on that?
On this one, it's 3 mil.
Okay.
You can see. So there's the frame. So the frame's 1.5, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and the arms are 3. But this is the carbon composite version, so it only has a top and a bottom carbon layer. So it's obviously got fiberglass in between. But the new one I've ordered is the full 3K one, so full carbon.
What size props you run on it?
The 5.3 Gem fans. I'm going to try out the HQ ones as well because they're supposed to be a bit stiffer. Because the Gem fans are really soft. I mean, I'm guessing if you're doing a punch out on this thing, the blades must be flexing a lot because they're so soft. And that's the only thing. If you're going to be buying mini quads, buy yourself a barrel full of props. Because I'm breaking props every flight. Well, I mean, I'm flying through trees, through grass, through everything. And yeah, they're pretty soft as butter. So yeah, you need a lot of props. But I mean, they're only like,
that's the only thing you're breaking. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, they're only like what, 40 cents a prop or something. So you can buy the company I got this for, my RC Mark. I mean, they sell them in sort of well, actually, when you buy the motors, they give you a bag of 16 props with the motors. So they realize you need them. And I think I ordered another 38 on top of that as well.
So Mike Connor just joined us. What's going on, bud?
Nada. What's up?
Just hanging out, talking helis, and apparently multi-rotor. So you came in at a good time because we pulled out the mini quad.
Look at what I brought with me.
Nice.
There we go.
So I got this GoPro on there. Do you think that's gonna work?
I think it'll stay.
Nah, I'll probably try it out for like one flight and for a second, but just to see how it does, and then take it off and fly around without it. Now tomorrow I'm gonna go out and do some practice for FPV racing, so I just barely finished that up and figured I'd come and see what's going on over here.
Yeah, we're just getting started. It's a thin hangout night. Everybody's working or traveling, so glad you could join us.
Nice.
I use the GoPro on mine. It flies pretty well. It's probably a little bit heavy.
Yeah. Next week I'm going to order the Mobius for it.
Yeah, that's what I want to get next as well.
So Lee, are you using the GoPro as your flight cam as well, or just for recording?
Well, I haven't actually. I've only done a little bit of FPV with it because the cable that I have is a bit glitchy. It's a bit wobbly. But it does work with the GoPro. I'm just going to make a new cable for it. I think yesterday the postman brought the stuff, but I've got to pick it up from the post office tomorrow. So yeah, I'm using the GoPro for both at the moment. I'll just hang on a second, I'll just grab it.
Isn't that a problem though with using the GoPro and the Mobius is for the live feed is it gets a lot of lag compared to
That's what
running
I'm
just
told.
regular.
Is the GoPro is laggy, but the Mobius and the 808 cam is supposed to be less laggy. So
Right, but still, I wouldn't trust it not having a separate camera, especially if you're racing and going fast. Any little kind of glitch, I wouldn't trust it. That's why I've got a separate camera on mine. I'm just going to use the Mobius or GoPro for recording.
Well, I
don't know. I've never tried it without or with the GoPro.
Well, I'm using it, and I've had absolutely no problems with lag. I'm flying through really close quarter trees, where literally split-second stuff, and I've had no problems at all so far. But
no lag on the GoPro?
No, not at all. Nothing.
Are you recording and live video at the same time, or just live video?
Live video, recording video, taking pictures, all at the same time.
And no lag, huh?
Not for me anyway, so I don't know. But I will put, when I get the Mobius, I will have a separate camera on. So this is just a temporary, just to see. But anyway, I've got the a little tab I put on the front, which my GoPro sits on.
Oh, nice.
Like so basically, it's keeping it a little bit further out in front. But yeah, it is a bit heavy. When I do punch outs and things, I can really feel the weight. It's about, I think it's 90 grams, and the Mobius is about 50, I think. So it's quite a big difference.
Which GoPro is that you're using?
The 3.
The 3, that's the same one I have.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. I love it. But I'm keen to get the FPV gear set up properly so I can really start bashing it around a bit.
Now, are you planning on using 5.8 gigahertz?
Yeah, that's what I use all the time because, well, I mean, if you're using 1.3 or 2.4, the antenna on your mini quad is going to be huge.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. I don't shared them before, but we were talking about because I was thinking maybe I'd go 1.3 just because it sounds like the perfect frequency. But yeah, I mean the antenna is like this big, and it doesn't look horrible. I've seen a picture of them on some mini quads, but the problem with it is, if you have a crash, you're pretty much destined to destroy your antenna.
Yeah, you think how you destroy the props on these things. What's a cloverleaf antenna? How long's that going to last? I mean, it's
one hit.
Yeah, one hit. That's it. So yeah, I think.
Plus, the receivers are twice as big and weigh twice as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most people go 5.8 and then just try to work on better antennas for their receiver in your goggles to get clearer footage.
So you've been doing any heli flying lately, or just playing with multi-rotors?
My Goblin has has just been sitting on the shelf for a few weeks now, and I don't know did I mention that when I was here last time. I don't know if it had happened by then. I had a nice auto landing on the head. I don't know if I mentioned that last time with the warp because one of my tail bearings blew up mid pyro flip.
I don't remember talking about that, but
no. Okay, well, yeah, I was about to, 3-4 feet off the ground, mid pyro flip on the inverted section, and the tail bearings just blew out. They started spinning quite violently, and didn't have enough time or height to flip it over, so I just flipped the switch and autoed it down to a couple of inches off the ground, and just held it there until the rotors were going so slow that it wouldn't hold the heli up anymore, and just dropped it on the head. Dropped it on the head, and nothing broke. The only thing that was damaged was the bearings that broke in the air anyway. So,
wow, that's impressive recovery.
Yeah, I tell you, that warp is amazing. It is bulletproof. I mean, I've crashed it a couple of times now, and I've broken the blades and the landing gear, and bent a boom once. And that's it. So Yeah, I love it. The bearings arrived this morning, but again, they're at the post office, so I've got to pick them up tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So yeah, no flying helis, but I did pick up last year. This is a bit of plain stuff. I did pick up last year sort of big block of foam and made a hot wire and started cutting out my own wings, and I've got one here which I can show you. It's a bit big.
Yeah, I want to see it because I'm thinking about getting a new wing.
Okay, I'll just this. We already put one together, and this is another one. You see how big that is?
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
It's a big wing.
You gonna turn that into a big FPV ship?
Yeah, definitely. There we go. So yeah, we cut about three or four wings out, and my friend who owns a board shaping shop, that's where we got the foam from. He glassed one of them, and it looked really good, but unfortunately it was a bit too heavy with the glass. So this one's just going to stay as foam with a carbon spar in it, and yeah, I want to put some FPV gear on it. That's the next project. So that's it for me, really. Oh, one thing. So I don't know if any of you have tried to get on RC Help, but it has closed.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know all the details, but I know Tony, the owner, has been having some problems financially, so he decided to shut it down. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but that's basically it as far as we know. It's no more.
Oh, that sucks. I like RC Help.
Yeah, but keep. What was I going to say? Yeah, there's something in the pipeline. I can't tell you now, but something's coming.
Okay.
Maybe on the next hangout, I hopefully should be able to let you know some good news.
Okay, good. I like good news. All right, so let's see what Casper's been up to. What you doing, man?
Hey, not a whole lot happening here. I got a couple flights in on the 450 a week ago. I've discovered that even with all the tools and all the videos and everything, there's two things you can't control, and one is time, and the other is weather. And you can't manufacture or control either one. So it gets down to not having enough time to do everything, and when you do have time, not getting the weather to cooperate. So that, and have some projects such as finishing the deck before winter sets in that takes up some of the available time. Plus, the wife had some knee surgery, so I'm having to play nursemaid and driver for that. So it's kind of been swallowing up my time. In the meantime, the 600X is waiting to be completed as far as electronics go, but I did go and purchase a backup frame that came with canopy and blades because it was at a good price. It kind of appears to me, and I don't know if the rest of you have been tracking, but the used helicopter market seems rather soft lately. Quite a few kits that haven't been completed, or people are going off into other interests. So I'm thinking it's more of the impact of the multi-rotor again, impacting the overall interest in the heli market. And, so I think some of the prices have come down, especially in the used gear. So I don't know if you've observed that as well.
No, I honestly haven't been shopping any of the used stuff. I've been thinking about posting. I need to sell a bunch of crap to make some money. So I've been kind of curious as to what the going rate is for things, but I haven't really spent much time looking around yet.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of kits that are still in the box, or ones that have been assembled but no electronics put to them, no flights put to them. And then even then, I think the prices that I saw 2 or 3 months ago were higher than what I'm seeing now. So that's just my impression.
So you're saying it's a good time to go buy some used heli gear then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he's just finished building an Agile 5.5, and he's decided it's not for him, so he's selling it, and it's fully kitted out, ready to fly for, I think he wants $800 for it, 500 quid. So
wow,
pretty cheap. That's all brand new. I mean, he's hovered it about 5 or 6 times.
So is he going to a multi-rotor?
No, he's got a smaller heli. I think it's just too big, the 5.5 for where he flies. So he's decided to stick to the 450.
Okay. I don't know. Our theory that the multi-rotors are taking over might be true. Definitely, it's interesting to think about all the time and money and effort and patience that goes into getting even a 550, 600 size heli, or even a 450 up and running, and then you look at like the mini quads that we were just talking about, where for a fraction of the price and nearly indestructible frames, you can be up and playing around pretty quickly. So that might be an interesting appeal for people. I wonder if the used market changes like after the holidays. Like how many kits get purchased for Christmas for people, and they're like, yeah, it's not going to work, and then turn around and sell them.
Well, we're coming up on Black Friday. Coming up on Black Friday, we guess that a lot of them are going to come out with new models or have sales coming out pretty soon. So another consideration.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else going on?
No, not at the time. A couple of miniatures flying indoors on the weekends. MCXPL in 130. So try to keep my hand in shape and keep the orientation going. So that's about it.
Cool. All right. Mike, you got anything exciting you want to talk about in the what have you been up to lately phase of this, which generally turns into everything general discussion anyway? Let me, you there, Mike?
Oh, I'm muted.
There you go. I think
I
muted you because you were drinking and I could hear rattling ice, and then but
yeah.
Sorry, I do that from time to time.
It's all right, my bad. I'm a newbie still. I don't know how this all works yet. No, I haven't done much new or anything excited. I've been flying that 250 around a lot lately. I got another quad frame that I ordered this week. I got that in today. So I'm just doing the quad thing right now. My helis are still crashed. I haven't fixed them yet. So, but we're gearing up for a winter series of FPV racing with the quadcopters. So I'm kind of focused on that right now, and just that's what I'll be doing for the winter. I don't like to get out to the field and fly helis out there in the cold and in the snow and all that. So I figured FPV during the winter is good because I can sit in a tent or in the car or whatever with the heater on and fly out there and be nice and warm, rather than trying to stand out there in the snow and trying to fly a heli and freezing my thumbs off.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had thought about that, about the opportunity to fly FPV from in the comfort of your front seat of your car or something. That would be cool.
Right, that's what we did last year. We set up a ground station outside of a tent, and then inside the tent we set up our monitors and had a little space heater and everything inside the tent. So we're sitting inside the tent flying FPV with wings.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
So, did I catch that all your helis are broke right now?
Yeah, Yeah,
Nice.
I piled in the 700 nitro not too long ago. It's been a couple months now, and the 550. I actually crashed them both on the same day. So I
It's not a
haven't.
good day.
No, it wasn't very fun. It was at a fun flight too that I drove about an hour and a half to go to, and piled them both in on the same day. It was pretty interesting. So the 700 is pretty bad. The 550, I just need to go buy some blades for it. I have all the other parts to fix it, but I don't know. Just one of those things where I'm kind of like, I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm worried about focus on other stuff, you know.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I kind of go in spurts with the helis, you know. I'm super addicted to it, and that's all I can do. You know, every day I'm out flying helis, and then after a while, it's like, I'll take a break from helis and move on to something else, and then come back to it later. It seems to be better that way, so I don't get burnt out on it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. All right, we have a couple of new folks to the Hangouts. So I'll pick on Dark Shades 316, who just dropped. Okay, I won't pick on him. Looks like Daniel, you are up next. So since is this your first time on the Hangout?
Yes, and
Okay.
I just wake up now.
Okay. Well, tell us who you are, what you fly, all that good stuff.
Yes, I'm Daniel. I'm flying 250 and the 450 align, both of them with flybar. And just for joining for the team, I just get my blade Nano QX for winter flyer inside in the room, and I just enjoy it.
Okay.
They have this advanced mode, so when I switch it, I can do flips. I just feel it's very cool. I'm a very newbie. I just started breaking my helicopters 1.5 years ago, and this is the first hangouts for me. I'm coming from Hungary, so it's a little bit different. But at the moment, I'm living in the UK, so it's 2:30 at the moment.
Yeah, well, you're in good company because Lee's in Spain, so he's got the crazy time zone thing happening too. I appreciate you guys that join in the middle of the night, so thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. So you've been flying for about 1.5 years?
Yes, I started flying with Clark's helicopter because in the beginning I feel the bigger is better. And after when my double horse don't have enough power for facing with the wind and they cannot come back, so I'm walking through the 2 miles long field just for following my helicopters because they cannot come back. It's very fun. But after I start enjoying the 4-channel small helicopters with real toys V911, it's very fun. And after I feel yes, this helicopter is cool, so I need something which I can do upside down because that time I believe this is the most important thing for me. And I made a mistake. I bought an unbranded MCPX clone from VI Toys V922.
Yeah.
And this is just upsetting me because I think it's 2 times fixing, 1 times flying. And after I feel I need something good, proper remote controller. So I'm planning to buy a Blade 450X with the DX6. This is the RTF. And after I'm just checking YouTube, checking eBay, and bought 250 with DX6 used one for the same price when I just buy just a remote controller alone. And after I start, I enjoy that, but I made a mistake. I bought second-hand helicopters 2 times, and always the servo in the wrong position and missing some parts. And but now I can build a helicopter from scratches anytime. First time when I fix my 250s, takes around 2 days for set up everything. Now it's 1 hour from scratches. If I break it for parts, it's easy.
Wow, gets easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I just start follow you in the when you start flying the new helicopter. It's cool. I like the pictures, and I see some live footage from you in the rotor show when you are in the helicopter event.
Oh, at IRCHA?
Yes, I like that.
That was a lot of fun. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on to the Hangout. So, everybody's pretty much welcome. If you have any questions or feedback or comments or just want to talk shop, this is the cool place to do it. So, thanks for joining, and hopefully you can stay awake. You and Lee will have to keep you guys awake. All right.
By the way, sorry,
Yes.
just one quick question. The GR has a 450 size Forza helicopter. What is your opinion about this? Because this is I'm planning to buy this one.
Yeah. So I'll tell you my personal take is I've never flown one. I don't think I've ever seen one. I've seen the Forza 700s, but not the 450. But everybody I know that knows anything about it really likes it. Although I think the crash costs can be a little bit expensive. Does anybody have any?
They have the same price than the airline. I check it.
Oh, same price for crash kits and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, everybody that I know that has an opinion on it it's a good opinion, so I haven't heard anything bad about it.
Yeah,
I like it. It looks very nice.
I've heard everybody say good things about it. I haven't seen one personally myself, but they say it's really good, and the price at the moment seems to be really good for the kit.
Yeah, do you know, is that like an introductory price or a sale price or something that they had that thing down to, or is that the new permanent price?
At the moment, the Fastlet has £200 for the full kit, except the receiver and the battery. So they have the ESC inside, the motor, the servos, everything, and the GR fly-by-wire system. And for £200, I can buy just a Protos mini frame. So it's a very good price.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with a JR Forza. Like I said, if you've done the research and found out that the crash costs aren't that expensive, then I think you can't go wrong with it.
I think that's the way it used to be with JR. The price of parts was really expensive, but I think now since the Forza 700 and the 450 have come out, I think they've probably realized that they're a bit too expensive. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and the Forza 700 is just blowing, things up. They are getting a lot of great reviews, and they're breaking all kinds of, I don't know if they're breaking records, but they're winning a lot of speed contests and all kinds of stuff. So they're doing something right now with the Forza line.
Hey, Lee, would you take a Forza or your Warp 360?
Well, I haven't seen the Forza personally or flown it or anything, so I don't know. Actually, I think I did see one at a shop back home in the UK. It didn't look as robust as my Warp. The Warp just, it just looks like it's not going to break, and that's the good thing about it. So I probably just from the very little I've seen of it, I would just keep the Warp.
Yeah, I saw flying 700 because I'm a member of Watford Wildfires, and one of our guys part of the F3A team in the UK. He's Steve, and he's flying a Forza 700, and this is just stick to the position without any stick movement in the air, and it's awesome. And if you check the canopy and the helicopter, it looks very nice. And the reason why I like it, because the full engine and everything, this is just covered with the two carbon parts, no screws, and you just take out with two screws, and you can access everything: the motor, the main shaft, and you can just unscrew two bolts, and after you can remove the full tail system. It's for me, it looks very nice. Not that smooth and easy like Protos Max, which was just one large belt, and everything is connected there. But it looks very awesome. The only drawback what I saw it's if I want to use the GR fly-by-less system, I need to use the GR servo only.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar with their fly-barless system at all.
Better than the Turnigy fake ones.
Yeah.
Another consideration would be if you're planning to go even larger, you might want to skip the 450 size. A lot of people gravitate to a larger heli fairly quickly, and depending on your flight space, depending on the costs involved, how much you want to spend, a lot of people bypass 450 and go to a larger, especially if you've been flying the 250 a while.
I have a sports car, no space for a bigger helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, my transportation is my limiting factor right now as well, so I know how that goes.
In South Africa, I used to ride around on a moped with my 600 on my back.
It just seems like something you'd do, Lee. It's awesome. All right, let's check in with Dark Shades. I think finally we'll get to you. How are you?
I'm good.
So tell us about yourself, who you are, what you fly, how long you've been flying, where you live, all that cool stuff.
Well, I'm from the Caribbean, a small island called St. Lucia. I don't know if you've heard of it.
What's it called?
St. Lucia.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wouldn't mind going there.
Yeah, it's really nice. Weather is practically always good.
So what do you fly?
Currently, I fly a 450 multi-copter.
Okay.
I run a multi-wii flight controller on it.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah, I think there's a lag in the distribution.
Yes. So you fly a 450 with a, what'd you say?
Yeah, multi-wii. It's the Creus 2.5 flight controller. That's what I have on.
Okay. What type of flying do you do? Do you do just cruising around, or are you getting into racing, or what? FPV?
Yeah, cruising around FPV, mostly FPV every now and then when I get the chance.
Okay. So for my own personal curiosity, because I'm getting ready to ramp up my FPV system, what type of gear do you have for FPV? What do you fly?
Oh, currently using 5.8 200 milliwatts. Before that, I had a 1.2 500 milliwatt setup. But since I'm using a quadcopter, I went to the 5.8 because it's lighter. That's really the reason.
Smaller antenna.
Yeah, lighter, smaller antenna. But I like the 1.2 on my airplanes.
Yes.
I do a lot of scratch, so I rather use the 1.2 on the airplane.
What type of planes do you fly?
Well, the only board plane I have is a Big Sur version 1.1.
Okay.
Yeah, apart from that, all the other planes are scratch build. I build flight test planes and twin boom planes. That's about it.
Cool. A lot of Dollar Tree foam?
Yeah. We Dollar Tree foam for sure. That's what I use.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I've got a few Dollar Tree foam planes, and I've got a Wing and FT Bloody Wonder. A couple of those I really like a lot.
I haven't built the Bloody Wonder. I've built the Spitfire and the Mustang. Yeah, I think that's it from flight test.
Okay. So do you do anything with helicopters at all?
No, the only helis I have is those the small ones. I think it's called coaxial.
Coaxial. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I'm not into it that much.
Okay. Cool. Well, we're definitely evolving into a heli/multi-rotor hangout. So you're in good company. We got lots of multi-rotor pilots on.
Yeah, so I know this.
Cool.
Tonight is multi-night.
Yeah, we might have to just designate a multi-rotor show, but actually I don't even know if we need to designate it. It seems to just happen all by itself sometimes.
Yeah, like you said earlier, it seems multi-rotor is taking over.
Yes, I think that is true. But the good news is, I think most of us are happy doing airplanes or multi-rotors or helicopters, just depending. Oh, what's Daniel got for us?
Nano QX.
Oh, is that the FPV model or is that?
I was
Oh,
going
yeah.
to ask that as well.
Standard one. I have a bigger quad. This is the Cheersan CX10.
Okay.
I thought that was a DJI Phantom.
No, it's a very large one.
Drunk in the water.
I'm sure you can run 1.3 on that, no problem.
This is the Blade Nano QX. Just comparing the size.
So small.
I was hoping you were going to say it was the FPV one because I really wanted to have a go with those.
For be honest, I don't like quads because they're so stable and reminds me for the Forza helicopters when I get the confident and after I feel yes, I can fly anything. And when I get my first collective pitch helicopter, I just break it straight. But this one, because this is using the Spectrum receiver, I just set up everything with my DX6 and it flies awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
And after I just realized they have the FPV one, but I think it's very costly.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is without the transmitter, or I mean without the goggles, but it comes with the goggles kit for what, $500 or $600 or something like that.
Yeah, £300, something like this.
Yeah.
Yes, but not bad, because you can take the goggles and everything and just switch it over to a bigger quad later on if you want.
Yes, and you can put the SD card to the goggles so you can record everything straight.
Oh, really? Is it the? It's not. Is it Attitudes or Dominators or something? Or do you know what goggles come with it?
I'm not sure which one.
They're using Fat Shark, I think.
Yeah, it's Fat Shark, but the model of the Fat Shark, I'm not sure which one it is. But it has I don't know if you've seen it. It has built-in head tracking. They said that the camera doesn't actually turn. It's the view that the camera lens shows. It basically moves from one side to the other of the actual full view of that camera. So basically, they're showing you a small part in the middle of the view, and then they just let you see a little bit there and a little bit there. It just seems a bit strange to me. Why don't they just show you the whole thing?
I was listening to that. It's like they have a wide angle but capability, but they're only showing you the smaller field of view.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept, and I guess I could see it because you really wouldn't want to fly FPV with a wide angle because your field of view is a little bit too awkward for flight. I don't know. Do you guys fly wide angle at all?
Yeah, no, wide angle is better.
You like it better? Yeah,
because then you can see a lot more. Because like with the GoPro, you've got 100 and whatever it's 45 degrees. So for flying through tight spaces, through trees, through houses, through windows, you can see the edges of the much clearer. Whereas when I was flying before, I was flying with a 2.6mm lens, I think it was. Anyway, much narrower field of view. And in that situation, when you're flying fast through trees, I'm clipping the props because I can't see how close they are.
Oh, really? I figured it would be the opposite, that the wider the field of view, the more difficult it would be to judge your actual distance away from objects.
Well, they do seem a lot. You can get a lot closer to them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I first started flying through the trees, and I was coming up to a tree trunk, I'd be like, "Whoa!" and sort of pull back because I thought I was getting too close to it. But It's amazing how close you can actually get, especially with these mini quads. I mean, I can almost put the lens of the GoPro right up against the tree trunk.
Yeah.
You need to play more Call of Duty, and you'll enjoy it.
Don't talk to me about Call of Duty. I spent a year of my life playing that game, and every day.
I'm still trying to find out what's that blade. What's the name of the blade with the FPV camera?
It's the Nano QX FPV.
That's what I thought.
Nano QX FPV RTF. I think this is the full complete in horizontal.
Yeah, it's on the website, on the Horizon Hobby website.
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm surprised it Blade Helis was the top few hits. It was all forum postings up front.
Fat Shark Teleporter V4 headset.
Okay, teleporter. I'm not familiar with those. See, my problem with something like this is, I wonder, if you buy the bind and fly kit or the fully equipped kit, do you end up with a pair of goggles that you're eventually going to upgrade anyway?
Well, I mean, they're Fat Shark, so I don't think you can go wrong, really. They're obviously going to be the basic ones, and they'll do. When I got mine, I went straight for the Dominators because I knew that when I get into something, I get into it, and so I normally go full out. So I wanted to have the best ones at the time, which were the Dominators.
Yeah, see, that's my problem. Is I'm looking at goggles now, and I'm leaning right now towards the Dominator V2s, thinking that it's got the built-in DVR, it's got the modules or module bays for head tracking and whatever receiver I want. And then it's upgradable. So if I'm flying 5.8 today, and 6 months from now I put in a 1.3 or 1.2 system, they will have a module that will, plug right in. So I'm also, God, the Cinemizers look so awesome, but they're expensive.
Yes, but $150 with Nano QX FPV BNF without the headset. So
yeah, so that's a great price.
So it's just a camera and the antenna and everything built in this small case. It's $150. So it's, I think, £90. It's not bad. Yeah,
that's really good. The other thing that I'm interested in, now that I'm on, stupid me, I'm on Blade's website. That was a bad idea. But looking at the FPV Vapor.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really kind of cool, too, for like indoor cruising around.
What I like in the Nano QX, because they have these blade protectors and they vary. I can switch the engine this way. I can switch everything, so I just can pass to every friend who is a little bit interested with quadcopters and helicopters. They just give them with the standard 4-channel remote control, and they enjoy it. And one of my colleagues just drove my quads 2 times, and the other one he just ordered the first one for himself. So it's very very good and easy fly, and they just bounce back from the wall. So it's awesome.
That's cool. All right, I got to stop looking at this website.
Why? Christmas is coming.
Yeah, I think I've spent all my Christmas funds. So, what else going on?
I was talking to you just before we went live about I had a 200 milliwatt BTX that something happened to.
Oh yeah.
This is my 600 milliwatt immersion RC one, and normally they're covered in a very thin sort of plastic PVC heat shrink, but obviously after time they get a bit worn. And my 200 milliwatt one on the back, that it sort of PVC had cracked, and I didn't see. and I was testing it, and I had it on top of my frame of my mini quad, which is carbon.
Carbon is
and some little magic smoke sort of come out the back of it, and that was the end of the 200 milliwatt transmitter.
Wow, that's a good lesson learned, though. Is you got to watch those things, because I don't think a lot of people realize that setting stuff on carbon fiber can be very disastrous if you're not careful. What do you use to mount your electronics to your multi-rotor frames? Are you using like hot glue or zip ties or what?
I use M3 tape, double-sided mount tape. So the stuff you use on gyros and things like that.
Yep.
Which, and then I'll put just a small zip tie over the top, maybe, just to hold it on. But yeah, the plate that goes on the front of my mini quad that holds the GoPro, that's just held on with a single layer of M3 tape, and it's pretty solid, unless you drive it full speed into the ground vertically. That's then it's a self-releasing mechanism. It works really well.
Nice. Yeah, I use that 3M tape for just about everything. Things I should probably Velcro, I still put 3M tape on. And it's easy to take off and replace. I bought a roll. Actually, I bought a roll. I don't know, about that big when I started building my 450. And I'm still pulling tape off of that roll. It lasts forever, it seems.
Yeah, I use it for just...
Mike.
Yeah.
What do you use to mount your electronics and stuff to your frames?
Same, 3M tape.
Okay.
Yeah, 3M double-sided tape. I go through rolls of that building stuff. I don't Velcro anything like you. Everything that can be put on needs to be on with 3M and zip ties.
Nice.
So I'm the same way. On the quad, I used 3M tape, and I did use some Velcro on some things that I wanted to be able to take off or move in case, because I haven't flown it with all this FPV gear on, so if I need to make some changes, I can do it really quick until I get it figured out for like the CG and all that.
Right.
So
yeah, I was thinking about mounting my my FPV gear with Velcro just so I can move it from plane to plane, or
that was my thinking too with the receiver. Because I do have that other quad, I figure I'll just swap it over there for now until I can get another receiver. But hopefully I can get some more receivers in, because they're not too bad. I mean, those 600 milliwatt ones were only like $60-$70, so I'd like to get a couple of those and then don't have to worry about swapping out. But for now, I'm gonna just Velcro them on and swap them out. And I did read that. I don't know if you guys saw that thread. Who was it that posted that about the carbon fiber? Oh, it's Immersion RC on their fan page. About somebody burning up their 600 milliwatt receiver because of the carbon fiber being conductive. So I saw that the other day before I put all my stuff on. I'm like, oh, I better take extra care on this. I was all freaked out and worried now that I don't want my stuff to burn up either.
Yeah, that almost sounds like a bonus for G10 frames, because I don't think G10 is conductive at all. But
no, your polymers and those kind of plastics aren't conductive like the.
But it's heavier.
Carbon. That's the problem. It is heavier.
Cool. Well, we had a couple of people pop in while we were talking, so I'm going to start. Mick B, welcome to apparently multi-rotor hangout, and some helis. So I don't know. Can you hear us? Okay. I don't hear any audio from you, Mick. All right, we're gonna move on. Justin, can you hear us?
Is my audio okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you up just a little bit. How are you doing?
Good.
You came at a good time. We're talking multi-rotors and FPV racing tonight, it seems.
Yeah, I was listening for a while. You guys talking about those little quads. Did I ever tell you my story about how I lost it?
No, but I'm waiting for the story, so now's a good time. So first of all, you have to explain who you are, what you fly, how long you've been flying. So, guys, for those of you, you'll catch on that I know Justin. He flies at the local club here, so I run into him out at the field every so often. But anyway, Justin, go ahead, tell us who you are.
So yeah, I live in Maryland. Mostly fly planes. Started about this time last year actually. Started with those flight test Dollar Tree foam board planes, and then moved on to quads. I believe I built David's tricopter, and then got into the mini quads, and that's where I've been for a while.
Nice. And how many mini quads have you built and flown?
Well, I went up to Flight Fest over the summer, and I picked up a frame and some basic parts there.
Okay.
And so over the summer, I've just been building it up, making it better until about a week ago.
All right, and then now it's time for a story about something getting wet.
Well, I was looking around Maryland for a cool place to fly and get videos, and I came across this one park with a big valley that goes down to a river at the bottom. I think it's the Patuxent River, or a part of it. And so I was flying around fine, and somehow or another I lost total control of it. So I got to watch it fly into a tree and then into the water.
Nice. So like a brownout where you had no control with your transmitter at all. Did you have video?
It was like a couple corrections I could make, and then 5 seconds it was just flying straight, and then I could make a couple more. I don't know what kind of good a failsafe would have done. It would have just leveled it out, but it still would have sat in the water eventually, I think.
Yeah. Did you have video the entire time?
Yeah, until it hit the water.
How far away were you? I'm just curious now.
I was on the shore of the river.
Okay.
It was actually interesting. I was coming in for the landing when I lost it, and there was just one at the tree you have to break through to get into the landing area.
Did you get it back, or it's gone?
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, the Patuxent River is pretty nasty and mean.
Yeah.
It'll eat everything. It's a big river, so. Well, that sucks. So what do you got something else on the way now, or what?
Yeah, it was this Chinese frame I bought.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Don't remember too much about it. I know it's got 5mm carbon arms, so they don't even sell replacement arms for it. They claim if it breaks, they'll send you a new one.
Nice. What electronics are you going to put on it?
Say it again?
What electronics are you going to put on it? Like motors, ESC?
No, I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it. I got the combo where it came with I believe it was an Emax 2204. It seems like a common one. It was a good discount on those.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, I need you to get up and running because I want to do some FPV racing videos.
Yeah. Chris, you know Chris.
Yeah.
He's making a similar one.
Okay. Cool.
So
now,
yeah.
What is he flying?
Right now he's got one of the flame wheel 330s.
Okay.
And he's doing all right on that for now, I think. But it's his birthday this week or something, so he's getting I believe it's the ZMR 250.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Now what goggles do you fly with?
I actually have them here. These are the Predator V2s. Me and Chris have the same ones. It came with the combo kit. And I remember reading that it's all the antennas are what makes a difference. I have these cheap eBay ones. They're still circular polarized, but I would be interested in trying either the Spironets or the Blue Beams, I think, are the great ones. But I'm still looking around for those because they're pretty expensive.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
How do I send a link in the chat here? Is there a way to send a link?
Yeah, you should be able to just paste a link right in. Did you find the chat window?
Yeah, I'm in the toolbox, and it's got a little like text icon, but it says comment tracker as source. I can't find a way to add a text. So
don't go there. Go. There's the blue one. It's
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. I'll send you guys a link to some SparrowNet antennas. These are pretty awesome. They actually kind of almost hop frequencies, I want to say, so that multiple people can be flying at the same time.
Also, the SparrowNet now sell them in left-hand polarized as well.
Yeah,
so,
these are left and right polarized, so that one goes on your headset and one goes on your goggles, and then you can actually, I don't know, it doesn't say how many people you can fly at the same time, but you can, and they're only $40, so it's not that bad of a deal. But they do claim that, you know, at least more than one person can be flying at the same time because it kind of hops frequencies. So these are the ones that I'm getting, and they're for 5.8, and my buddy's got them, and I hear good things about them.
Huh.
So for $40, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ones I was looking at. Because my friend and I, we both fly on the same SparrowNet, but right-hand polarized, and as long as we stay at either end of the channel spectrum on the immersion RC, we're okay.
Right.
But if I put on one of my boss cam receivers and he stays on the immersion, then we don't get any ghosting at all. So that's another way to do it. But yeah, I think I'm going to get a set of those left-hand polarized so we can both fly together without having any interference at all.
Yeah. So a left hand should not interfere with a right hand. Is that pretty much how that works? That they're
Right.
screwing in the different directions.
That's it.
I
In
watched
other
some
words,
really
yeah.
cool FPV sort of one-on-one videos from Ivy Crazy, where he was talking about how the direction of the wavelengths, you know, reversing it will reduce that ghosting. It was a really interesting video, but I haven't seen it put into practice yet.
Yeah, we get ghosting even if we're on the furthest channels apart. Only if we are, if one of the quads is close to us and the other one's far away, then the one that's close, you start to get. If it's my friend's one that's close, I'll get ghosting of his image, which freaks you out a bit. Just quickly tell him to fly away so quickly, so I can see where my quad is.
Get out of my face!
Yeah. So as long as you are both close to your or both far away with your quads, it's okay. It's just when they're opposite.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a problem. See, that's what makes me nervous about FPV racing and getting several people together with the same frequencies. Is how do we, you know, and I know, Mike, we talked about this on RC Hangar Time at one point, was, you know, how do you get all these people together at the same time without problems?
Well, like we're flying close. I mean, with FPV racing, I don't think the courses are really that far away. When we were getting ghosting, we're talking like half a kilometer. You know, so one's right next to you and the other's half a kilometer away, and then we were getting problems. But when we're both flying within like 500 meters, just flying around, or closer than that, I don't know, 200 meters maybe, just flying around, we never had any problem. It was only quite long distance.
Okay, well, that's encouraging.
All right, and it probably has a lot to do with these kind of antennas and, you know, switching frequencies so that you're further apart on that spread.
Yeah.
Plus,
So
it probably has a lot to do with what kind, like if you're running immersion and you're running boss cam, you know, that can help too, right?
Yeah, so if you've got like two people running immersion on separate ends of the channel spectrum, and then you got two people on BOSCAM, and then you got two people running left-hand polarized, the others running right, you could probably get, I don't know, 6 or 8 people without having too much problem.
Yeah, any more than that, the congestion in the air will be the problem, not the interference.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's probably good to keep them down to about 4 per race. Do it like border cross racing.
Yeah, I was thinking about like bracket racing. I don't know much about racing other than like drag racing, but I know in bracket racing it becomes basically you against the clock sort of a thing that would be a good way to have racing where you've got people fairly pitted against one another, but you don't have to race at the same time or even at the same place. So for even virtual racing, that would be kind of fun.
You got to have a bit of quad-on-quad carnage.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but so anyway, yeah, it's man, I tell you what, there's a lot to learn. I've spent the last week trying to just research frequencies and even what goggles I want to get, and I looked at the Predators. And then I look at the Attitudes, and I look at the Dominators and the Cinemizers. Obviously not Fat Shark, but the Zeiss Cinemizers. But they're like what, $800 or something ridiculous like that. I can't justify that cost, I don't think. But right now I'm starting to lean towards the Dominator V2s. Even though I know the HDs are probably going to be better in the long run, but right now there's nothing that can transmit an HD signal very easily, so I don't know if you get much value out of it these days.
What about the Sky Zones? Have you looked at those? No, they're quite a bit more expensive. But
I kind of looked at them, but not seriously yet.
It's good because they've got the diversity receivers as well, so that should help with signal quality.
Yeah, that's true. I remember watching a RC Model Reviews. He did a video. Maybe it was last year, kind of comparing the Fat Sharks against these Sky Zones. Know what they are, Sky Zones?
Yeah.
But I don't remember I'll have to go back and watch that video again. But it seemed like they were fairly impressive gear. So I don't know. It's hard not to go with kind of the standard Fat Shark when you think about goggles.
Yeah, I'd like to try the Sky Zones to see how the picture quality is, but I really like the idea of the diversity receivers in them.
Yeah. Now the Boscam has goggles that people seem to like as well. Have you played with those at all?
No.
All right.
And you got to have LEDs on the tail of the quad, so everyone can see your tail when you're beating them.
Nice. You got brake lights on?
Yeah. No, mine are blue, so it looks like something out of Star Wars. You got the engines on the back.
Nice. Yeah, that's it. I see a lot of interesting builds, and I try and wonder, because when you're flying it, you probably don't even notice any of that stuff. You put different color props and all that. When you're flying FPV, you don't even see that stuff. But I hadn't thought about building it for other people to see when you're racing them. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, when I got my QAV 500, I plastered it with LEDs and had them on each of the arms to show me red and green for left and right, and then I thought, oh, hang on, I got my goggles on, I can't even see it, so what's the point? So I just took them all off again.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time for visual stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, what type of runtime did you get out of yours before you sent it to its demise?
Well, I was running a 1035C battery. I think I got 5 minutes. I set the timer for 4:30, and I gave myself 30 seconds to land. And I think I was putting 800 milliamps back into the battery, so about 5 minutes. But I just got some 1300 nanotechs, so I'm probably going to shoot for 6 now. Yeah, I'm getting they are a little bit bigger motor, so it might offset. Might run back at 5, but
you gonna put that? What is that? A 1.3? You gonna put that on there?
Yeah.
What motors did you say that you have in it?
I think it's coming with the Emax 2204s. Looks like those, I think.
Yeah, I've got the 2480
Yeah.
Emax on mine, and I've got a 1350 Pulse 3-cell lipos, and I get about 8 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but Justin's going to run a 6-watt transmitter.
Oh right.
That'll
Are
do
you
it.
running? Is it 5.3s or 6.4s, Mike? That you've got on that?
Yeah, it's 5.3s.
Yeah. Yeah, I get 6 minutes at full throttle. I get about 7 just cruising around, and that's with 1500
Yeah.
zippy compacts.
Mine's
those,
been my flights have just been cruising around. I haven't done nothing too crazy yet. I'm still tuning it and getting used to flying it. So, but I'm sure those flight times will go down once I start hitting it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, you can't. My friend's got 1800s on his, the zippy compacts again, but I think 1500's fine, and because they're compacts, they're a bit lighter. I think if you go any heavier than that, it just starts to get a bit sluggish. And obviously, I've got my GoPro on there as well. It's pretty heavy at the moment, so when I do punch outs, I can feel that it's not really got a lot of power. So.
Isn't it crazy that with all of the other RC sports, the goal is to get bigger? And, we start out small in the micro size, and then we spend the rest of our hobby life trying to get bigger and more expensive toys. And on multi-rotors, it seems to be going exactly the opposite direction. We're going smaller.
Yeah, these 250 quads are really booming and selling like crazy. Everybody I know has a 250 quad now.
Yeah, I never even would have considered one until recently. Until we start talking about, obviously the FPV and the FPV racing is the big draw for those. But I mean, I would just dismiss a 250 in a heartbeat and be like, I just built a 680 hexacopter, and give me bigger, more powerful. But I'm kind of excited to build a 250.
They're a lot of fun.
The good thing is they don't break. That's the thing.
Yeah, I disagree. You need to follow the quadcopter thread in Google+. They have one guy who has a quadcopter with 22-inch blades.
Wow.
And they have a 8-person dining table in the lunch room, and they cannot fit to the table, but they looks awesome.
22-inch blades. Holy cow.
They said they have enough space for 26.
That's crazy. That would carry a human.
Yeah,
But
by the way, 150 milliamps and 6 minutes for the Nano.
Oh yeah, nice. What do you got, Justin?
I built this probably 6 months ago. This is 650. I really don't like to fly this thing. It eats up batteries.
Oh, that's the H quad from Flight Test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I built that.
Yeah.
And the old DT 750s.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
You guys must have seen the hover bike, have you?
The hover bike?
Yeah. It carries a human. It's a quadcopter, but they've shaped it more like a race bike, where you sit in the middle. I'll see if I can find a link for it.
All right. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that. Hey, Dave. Oh, goodbye, Dave. Dave Morrow was trying to join us. Sorry, Casper. This is turned out to be multi-rotor night. You're gonna have to go buy a quad.
Aside from the Nano, that's all I got.
I mean, that'll
I guess it
do.
doesn't qualify.
That will get you into the club. You just need you need one thing. That's it. So now you just need to put an FPV camera on it.
I'll race you.
They can lift the new GoPro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I'll show you my new toy. haven't even done the unboxing yet. I was going to do that this weekend, but the Proto X SLT, I'll take it out of the box for you guys, because this thing is tiny. I think I might win a race with this one.
You still have your Nano?
I still have everything I've ever got. So, yes. I don't get rid of anything. Whether or not they fly or not's another story. Alright, here we go. So who wins on size?
I win, I think. I have the remote too.
Nice. This is hold up your tiny quad. Yeah.
At the moment, this is the world's smallest with 2 millimeters. Smaller than the earlier. Ooh, awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, I just ruined my unboxing video by taking this thing out. I'm not going to be genuine anymore.
I put a YouTube video link up for the hover bike in the chat.
Here, I'll play it on the feed for us.
One of the funny things with this CX-10, I just need to press the right stick, and they can flip every directions.
Yeah, that's a cool feature. I like that. All right. So if you pull up the YouTube app on the Hangout, should be somewhere on the left-hand side near the bottom. You'll be able to watch this video at the same time. That is so awesome, man. A hover bike. That's awesome. I like that it's got the overlapping propellers.
Yeah, I wonder what what's behind that. Why they're crossing over like that?
I wonder if it's just to make it narrower. We went from a hover bike carrying people to drones delivering packages.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It kind of reminds me of, I just watched a video today on a, I forget what it was called. It was a drone, and I'm using air quotes, that carries a defibrillator, and it's like an emergency drone where you call 911 and they send you this drone with a, defibrillator so you can, save your loved one in a time of crisis. Anyway, all kinds of interesting things coming out, or at least being proposed.
I think that was an earlier video because they've got a bit further than that now.
Yeah, the very beginning of the video with the hover bike part looked really cool, but then they started going into some of the other smaller stuff, which...
Yeah, if you search for hover bike, Malloy is the name of the company that makes it. Yeah, you should find a lot of information, and you'll find their website as well.
All right, cool. Dave, you made it.
Hey guys, yeah, I made it.
What are you doing?
Finally made it to my hotel in Houston. So I've been like flying and hanging out in airports for the last 12 hours.
And not the kind of flying we're enjoying, huh?
No, not at all. Although not too unlikely. It's I spent a lot of time with listening to pilots talk about maintenance issues and wait for people to sign off on stuff. So figure, I guess the real planes have maintenance issues just like our RC planes do.
Yeah, we just don't want to hear about those.
Right, especially, one of the planes I was on today was 787, the Dreamliner.
A little guy, huh?
Yeah. I think that would be new enough and it's been out long enough where I wouldn't have maintenance issues, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, it's always a little bit discouraging when you're on the tarmac or at the gate and you have to wait because of a maintenance problem, but hey, at least you made it safely.
Yeah.
So you joined us at this is multi-rotor night apparently, because that's mostly what we've been talking about all night.
Cool.
So we've already all pulled out our micro quads. You got anything with you at the hotel?
No, but I was interestingly, I had a lot of downtime today, so I'm thinking about what am I going to build next. A quad was on my mind, or maybe using a different flight controller besides a KK2. Or originally, I started with a KK2, and then I started looking at really higher end stuff, like the Pixhawk. But now I'm thinking, something a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I've got the Pixhawk on my 680 Pro, and I for a moment I thought about I'm building a 250 quad next, and for a moment I thought about, how would that work on that size? And then I realized quickly that it's way huge and overkill. I'm putting a Naze 32 on, but I think the Flip 1.5 is also a very popular choice for the small ones.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the Naze 32 lately, so that's kind of what I've been looking at.
I can highly recommend the Open Pilot. I've been using the Open Pilot on my mini quad, and it's awesome. They've got a few new things that you can add on, which they've got this thing called Ratitude now, which instead of having it either in manual or in attitude mode, sort of stabilized mode, you have a combination of the two. So basically, when you're giving it full stick, you can flip it and everything, but as soon as you center the stick, it just goes back to stabilized mode and just hovers.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like there's the two different firmware versions for the KK2. The Simon, or not? Is it?
It's the RC911 and the Stevie's.
Right, Stevie's. The RC911 does that. I think he calls it Horizon mode, where it's basically the further away you move the sticks from center, the more acrobatic it gets. But if you let go of the sticks and let them center, it'll automatically upright itself and sit and hover.
Yeah, it also has a thing called cruise control, which obviously when you tip a quad forward, if you don't add any throttle, it's going to start descending. But with this setting, as you tip it forwards, the flight controller adds throttle to the motors so that it actually stays at the same altitude. So you don't have to keep adjusting. I mean, you still have to adjust the throttle a little bit, but it gives you a bit of assistance in keeping the same altitude as you're flying along.
So it allows you to maintain altitude without having to keep up the speed, huh?
Yeah.
I remember one of the recent RC Hangar Time episodes, Chris, you guys were talking about how some people are starting to cant the motors now so they're not level.
Yes.
So that when you're, specifically like if you're racing and you're doing a high-speed run, that your camera's not pointing at the ground. So.
Yeah, see, I was under the impression there was some thrust benefit to that, but I guess maybe it's just about the camera. But I thought for sure there would be some thrust benefit. I could be wrong.
As you tilt your quad forward, there's going to be more of the face exposed to the oncoming air, so you take down a little bit of drag too if you just tilt your motors.
Wow, that's small.
Yeah, he's a runner-up for smallest quad.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So what quad is that you're holding up, Justin?
What is it? The Proto X. That's one of the.
Oh, it is. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty small.
Yeah. It's a fun one. So hey, Mick joined us again. Do you have audio?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
There
Oh,
he is.
right. We're going. Yeah. Well, I heard you just talking about all the FPV stuff, and it made me really keen because there's not a lot of guys around here doing that sort of thing. And it's just interesting to talk with other people about it. I've been doing it now for probably about 18 months, and in sort of more recent times got involved in the helicopter side, so I'm FPV and choppers, okay? And for those of you who don't know anyway. And I'm finding it very good. But it's interesting hearing you talking about the Pixhawk and stuff, because I've just recently got one, and I do wish to set it up on a chopper, but the challenges are about to start, if you know what I mean.
Yes, that would be a challenge.
Has anyone there set them up on a chopper yet, or no? Any of you guys?
Not me. I've read about a couple of guys on, I think it was an RC groups that were talking about doing it, but they were, I didn't follow the entire conversation, so I kind of missed out on some of it, but I know they were having some difficulties with doing it. But I don't remember specifically what they were. It wasn't as straightforward or as simple as they had hoped.
Okay.
And how far they went with it, I don't know.
Yeah, like I will do the real basic side and start with the rover, of course. Then I'll set it up on a quad and then go to that. But yeah, it's be interesting to hear about people that have done it. That was all. Yeah.
So, what's your reasoning behind going for FPV on the helicopter?
Just love helicopters.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't afford to fly the real ones, if you know what I mean. So this is the next best thing. And
so you're putting in the scale machines, no?
No. Just I've set up on a 450 and on a T-Rex 600. Okay, so I'll fly both of those. But I find it very, very good. Yeah. I heard about just talking about tilting the cameras down. That's great, maybe on a quad, but when you go to land a helicopter, because if you're coming in with a little bit of pace, you drop the tail down. You can find yourself in a lot of trouble really quickly if you point the camera up in the air a little bit, which I have done, of course, and got a tail strike and a blade hit the boom and the whole thing exploded on the ground and chewed the frame in half, and it was really exciting. I'm sure some of you would have been through that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever try head tracking or anything on those?
I have actually, yeah. I've got a video on YouTube. It's under Auto Skids. I don't know if any of you have had a look at all, but my YouTube channel is Auto Skids anyway, and I've got 2 head tracking videos on there. Very good, but you've got to have a reference. That's the hardest thing, because flying without any stability control of any sort, so I'm just flying like off the back as such, I suppose you'd say. With no stability control, you've got nothing to take over if you get yourself in trouble. So I've had to put a little reference indicator at the front so that I know which way the camera's pointing. And from that point, yeah, I find it all right. Very hard on the nerves to start with, but yeah, I find it good now.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about that point of reference deal. And by the way, for those of you who haven't seen Mick's FPV setup, it's quite impressive. Are you? I can't remember, Mick. Are you in a trailer?
Oh, a van actually.
A van. Okay.
I've got the old high-ace work van, and I've got an R22 cab. Okay, and I've actually got this R22 cab. I've got all the controls set up in it, and it sits in the back of this work van or this old van. And you sit in there and look at a 50-inch TV screen, and that's where you fly from. So you're actually flying using full-size or scale helicopter controls. Okay, it's very different, but I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's a real get away from work thing, you know. So it's good.
Very nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a local guy here that does a lot of FPV stuff up in the mountains. Just he goes up pretty high, just outside of Yosemite, because it's illegal to fly in the park. But he's like right outside the park, and he's posted a lot of amazing videos. He's gone out several miles through the hills, and some of the stuff that he's captured is just really interesting. There's one video where he did, and he's flying along these cliffs, and out of the blue, there's this guy climbing the cliffs, and he's, you know, it's pretty substantial height up, and the guy, you can see the guy turn around and look at his quad as it goes buzzing by.
Wow.
Thankfully, he didn't distract him and you know, cause issues, but you know, it was totally unexpected. He had no clue that he'd find any of it. That's primarily, most of what's up there is backpacking area. It's very, very rugged, rural. I mean, there's no roads, nothing to get into there. And he's invited me to come up and take a look at his FPV setup, because he's flying, I don't know exactly what he's doing, what frequencies he's running, but I know it's I believe it's a 450 or a 500. It might be the same quad that Lee has, a QAV 500. And he's getting several miles of distance out of it running through the hills, so very impressive.
Yeah, I watched a video not long ago where a guy took up a couple of beers, and he delivered 2 beers with a 700 size machine to these 2 guys on the top of a mountain, and oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant. And it was like 3.5 kilometres. I think it was about 2.5 kilometres high and 3.5 kilometres away. And he flies up there with 2 beers, drops it off to these guys, and gives a bit of a tail wag, and they wave back, and he comes on back down, you know. And absolutely brilliant. I thought I would just love to do that, you know, because I've got plenty of neighbours here, and we all get along pretty good. And it'd be so cool to fly over and drop a beer off to the neighbour, you know.
Yeah.
But haven't done it yet, but I will. Yeah, it'll happen.
Nice. Sounds like a Mission Impossible moment.
Oh, it'll probably be impossible if it goes wrong. Yeah, for sure. I've had a couple of those. The landing one was the best one. I come in, I was just taking off and landing, like I was quite literally practicing that, because it is a bit difficult. And I was coming in like getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I thought, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm getting good at this. And yeah, because when you come into land, you can't actually see the ground. And when I started to level out, I was already too close, and dropped the tail on the ground, and the blade come around and struck it. And it actually, I've never done it before, but it actually sheared the frames in half. So wow. There was 3 parts of the chopper laying on the ground. Cut the tail boom off, and yeah, so there was a part of a tail section laying there, a set of skids with half the chassis on it, and yeah, like busted the motor mount off. This is on a little T-Rex 450, and gosh, it done a lot of damage. And like I've had a fair few crashes, as most people that fly choppers do, and but it was the most extreme. Yeah, it just done so much damage. I end up like discarding the frame or that whole chopper basically, and yeah, getting another frame and setting up a new one. But yeah, it was an expensive mistake, but that's what it's all about. We make mistakes.
That's right. That's half the fun. But do you use an OSD first of all?
I do have an OSD on the 450, which is on one of them flights. But no, apart from that, I don't. I just put a beeper on there, and I've used 5.8, so I don't do long range. I have flown 2 kilometres away, but I don't normally do that. That was at an old abandoned airstrip. There was an old World War II airstrip here. But yeah, I done a nice long flight on that. But generally, I fly within probably 400 metres, 500 metres of myself, and you can always hear the beeper, and I'll work from there. On the audio side, you can hear the beeper come through with the audio, so that works really well because you can hear it in the cab with me.
Right. That's cool. I was just wondering. I'm assuming if you had an OSD, it wouldn't help you land because it probably doesn't have that much resolution as far as or accuracy to be able to get you down, huh?
I think the landing side, if you've got plenty of room, you'd sort of you come in and basically like level out and hover out, and then come down and land from there. But the time when I had that mishap, I was just playing. I was practicing like coming in fast and hard and pulling up hard, and then plopping it on the ground. And yeah, that's where I went wrong. And in that case, the OSD definitely wouldn't have been fast enough. Yeah.
Right.
But it's interesting the OSD when you look at speeds and stuff, because like I've never really tried to fly real fast, but in one of those, I think I got up to about I think it's 63 mile per hour or something with a little 450, and it wasn't really. Oh, sorry, no, yes, 63 mile per hour, it was just over 100 kilometres an hour, and I wasn't really trying all that hard. Yeah, so they are fast. I haven't actually sat it up and tried to fly fast with it, but I must do it one day just to see how fast a 450 will go.
Yeah, that's pretty fast, actually. I don't know if I would have guessed it would have gone that fast if you'd asked me before now.
Well, I probably wouldn't have either, actually, to be honest. But if you do get on the videos and have a look at them, there's one where it's one of the head tracker videos I've got there. Yeah, you can actually have a look on the side, and just before I do the bank up and turn, you can see it's up in, I'm pretty sure it was about 62 or 63 mile per hour it got to with the Eagle Tree OSD. So, yeah, they can be fast, a lot faster than we would normally expect, you know?
Yeah. Does anybody else use an OSD for FPV?
I don't use one on mine.
No, it surprises me. I guess maybe it doesn't surprise me because they are freaking expensive. First of all, to get them on there. So what do you guys do for voltage monitoring normally? Like Lee, what do you do?
I just put a voltage alarm on my balance lead.
Okay.
So and then I have well, actually on the QAV 500 I have telemetry. I have the TM1000 on there, so it gives me a warning on that as well. But I mean, on the mini quad, it don't need OSD. It just flying around through the trees, doesn't really help, and it just adds weight.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea for that.
No.
Justin, you used what do you use to keep track of your voltage? Or just the timer?
Well, that, and I got the Free Sky telemetry.
Okay.
P4R, I believe, receiver.
All right, cool. On your Casper, on your Proto X, what do you use for track your voltage? You put OSD on that?
Proto X, you have the flashing lights when it gets low.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you land it before the lights go out.
You know, the funny thing is, I've got a the Andromeda Kodo, which is their it's not as small as a Proto X, but it's a micro with a camera, and that thing, when the lights start flashing, like, you're done because the camera doesn't work anymore or anything. It goes into power conservation mode, and you pretty much have to bring it back. But anyway, what else we got? We got about 10 minutes left before I wind this thing up and go to bed. By the way, I'm very excited. Tomorrow I get to do my first full-scale airplane flight as a pilot. I'm taking an introductory flight lesson. My wife got me for my birthday, so I don't know what I'll be flying.
Cool.
Probably some Cessna or something, but I'm pretty excited about that tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a few years.
You will love that. You'll really, really enjoy that, actually.
Yeah, I'm scared that I'm going to enjoy it too much because I hear it's very expensive to actually continue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just don't follow the crash repeat.
Good advice. Yeah, so we're leaving out early in the morning, some airport a little bit north Maryland that I don't know if I get like an hour and a half or whatever with an instructor and quick flight. So
You'll have it mastered.
GoPro.
Do you do much FPV or no?
No. I'm actually just trying to get started. I've got some FPV gear, but I don't really use it. I've got a Bosscam 200 milliwatt 5.8 gigahertz setup that I put on my tricopter, and I put it on my Bixler too. But I just really haven't done much with it. So I'm getting ready to build a little quad racer, and I'm going to start really digging into FPV. And I want to get not only do I want to get that up and running, I want to get some of my other aircraft, like my wing, back, into FPV, because I started going that route, and then I just got distracted, and all my FPV gear is just sitting in the basement. So, yeah. So I'm trying to learn. I'm learning a lot right now about the different frequencies and what's preferable and what's compatible with what. So I'll be playing with it a lot here in the next couple months.
One thing I'd really wish, because I've basically, I've done a small amount of flying planes and stuff, as in RC with the FPV gear, and then went to the choppers. I would have loved to have started with a quad that had a stability control or a GPS hold on it or position hold or something like that. From that point, it just would have made it so much easier. So if anyone out there is wanting to get started, I would really try and head in that direction first. I don't know if your tricopter's got anything like that on it, but yeah, it would must make it so much easier, because the chopper thing was absolutely nerve-wracking the first time I'd done it, because it took off and I thought, okay, well, this is it, I have to do this now. And when it come time to land, I was just absolutely freaking, because landing is the hardest bit. And even with the quad, you got less parts to break with the quad, I suppose. But the landing is always the most difficult part. And even if you can set it up with the buddy box system, maybe have someone else there that can also fly, so at least you can bring it around and they can take over to land it for you if you don't feel confident.
Yeah, and of course you don't have the ability to just look out and see it line of sight at the last minute, right? I mean, you're pretty much separated from the aircraft.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's not a bad thing, especially on the chopper side. Those blades aren't very forgiving. I've got a scar on my arm to prove that. And flying in this manner, like flying a chopper FPV, you don't have that risk of a helicopter sitting 5 meters away from you. That's out to get you, You can sit the thing down the flat, you can put it 50 meters away, and take off from there and keep it well away from you. So I do find that very good as well. But yeah, I wear glasses, okay, so for me, I've got to put a pair of goggles on, and once I put them on, if I take that off, I've got to put glasses back on, or I still can't see, or till then I can't see. So yeah, I'm pretty committed. Once I take off, that's it. I've got to land with goggles on,
Yeah, interesting. Speaking of goggles, maybe this will be the last 5 minutes of the discussion, because I am looking at goggles, and I know several of you have used them. I wear reading glasses, which I don't wear when I'm on the Hangout, because it just annoys the heck out of me to see reflections in my eyes. But I have okay long, far away distance, but up close is where I need the glasses. Do the goggles work okay with that, or should I be concerned when I select goggles?
I don't know about anybody else. If anyone else has got anything to say on that, but I've actually got a couple of cheap glasses, as in like your cheap shop glasses, basically. And I've cut the lenses down, and there's a little slot on the glasses that I'm using that I can actually slide them into, or the goggles I'm using I can slide them into, and that helped me a hell of a lot. It made it a lot better.
So is that the adjustable diopter?
No, you can see there's the little slot. You can put a lens in there.
Oh, okay.
These are the Predator 2s, but I'm sure they all have it.
Yeah,
but I'm using attitudes.
But I guess my question is, do I need them? I know some of them have something adjustable for vision, but I'm just not even sure. It's hard because I don't have a pair I could try on. I mean,
okay. Maybe the adjustable thing is the distance between your pupils. That is adjustable on the glasses. At least on the attitudes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So not for vision correction, but just to adjust for the pupil dimension, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
I know with the Fat Shark gear you can buy some lenses, but I think it's for people who can't see up close. Is it like long-sighted, isn't it? Someone that's long-sighted can't see up close, I think it is. You can buy like -1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, or something like that. But in my case, it didn't help me. Yeah, because I've got to have correction for both.
Interesting.
But yeah, I made these little lenses up, and they work really well. Yeah. Ultimately, if I put contacts in, that works really well because I can still see line of sight then as well. So I have done that. But I don't normally wear contacts. They give me a bit of grief.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for the feedback, and I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up tonight so I can go to bed and get up early and go play.
Okay. Well, enjoy the flight tomorrow. I'll definitely say that. Okay. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, it should be good. I'll try and get some video. As everything I do, I try and get on video. So I'll see if they'll let me wear a GoPro up there. But anyway, thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for those of you guys who popped in for the first time to say hi. I appreciate that. And it's always good. I think it's good to take a little multi-rotor break here and there. So hopefully it didn't bore too many of you who are watching this after the fact. Sorry, but hey, multi-rotors are in. You got to get used to it. Anyway, that's it. And thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, good night, guys.
See you later.
See you.